जो लोग चीज सर आप वहां पे कर लीजिए, मैं भी ठीक है। ठीक है, और टिकट तो एक ही है ना? टिकट एक ही है।
Okay, somebody just pointed out that I kept speaking with the mic off. Let us have the mics off for everyone and the videos on. Sumitra Mahajan, former Lok Sabha Speaker, Member of Parliament 8 times from Indore, Chief Guest for the show, Madam. Thank you so much for joining. Darshana Jardoshi, Madam, thank you so much for joining. Minister of Textiles, former Minister of Textiles, at such a short notice. Cotton Corporation of India, thank you. Alexander Thomas, he's joined us. Alexander Thomas is the founder of the Association of Healthcare Providers of India, 15,000 network hospitals. Huge tug of war between the hospital network and insurance, with insurance finally getting their way out with respect to the GST reductions. We've got Numaligarh Refinery, the principal supporting partner for this beautiful day, Narendra Bhai Modi's birthday, 75th birthday, the architect of New India. The man who's credited with bringing so many beautiful reforms. We'll speak about all of them as we move along. Sumitra Tai, could we have your Siddharth, the grandson of Sumitra Tai, is monitoring the show with respect to her presence. Could we have the video on Mohini from Bandix, one of the special economic zone giants in the south part of the country? Shishti Pal Vasudev, Additional Secretary Home Affairs, he is also on board with us. V.K. Tiwari, Professor V.K. Tiwari, thank you for joining. 50 years into the IIT system, retired in December 2024. He retired as the director of IIT Kharagpur, India's first IIT. It was converted from the jail, from a jail by the Nehru. He has also. This is a beautiful day, Vishwakarma Pujas, a day when we celebrate growing India, India's growth story, and Narendra Bhai Modi's birthday, 75th birthday as well. Sumitra Tai, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Darshana Madam, thank you so much for joining us. Can you all see and listen to me? Lieutenant General K. Rao, Lieutenant General K. Rao has joined us. Cotton Corporation of India. Madam Darshana Madam's audio video is off. सुमित्रा ताई बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आपको हमारी आवाज आ रही है?
हेलो, आपकी आवाज आ रही है सर?
आ रही है. सिद्धार्थ जी आ रही है. जनरल राव इज देयर. जनरल राव, थैंक यू फॉर joining. मैडम
हाँ जी मुझे आ रही है आवाज. हाँ जी नमस्ते.
So we've got two stalwarts. Darshana Jardosh Madam, former Minister of Textiles. Textiles, dairy have been in the talk for all the wrong reasons because of the Trump trade turmoil. Trump tariff. Why am I
Echo sound. Your voice is in echo sound.
Mics off, please. Mics off. सुमित्रा ताई बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आप आ गए. प्रधानमंत्री मोदी आने वाले हैं आपके क्षेत्र में.
हेलो,
आज 75वां जन्मदिन है. 75वां जन्मदिन पे मोदी जी आज आप ही के पास आ रहे हैं.
एक मिनट, मैं कुछ बोलना चाहूंगी. मैं पूरे इसमें नहीं बैठ पा रही हूँ. मैं आपको शुभकामना दे करके, प्राइम मिनिस्टर इज कमिंग टू इंदौर, सो आई हैव टू गो टू एयरपोर्ट. तो मैं शुभकामना दे करके आई हैव टू लीव. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
मेरे को लगा आप 5 मिनट कम से कम शुभकामनाएं आपने दी है. अगर आप कुछ अच्छा संदेश भी देना चाहे तो वो आप देख के फिर निकल जाए.
of the district, which we will give PDF tomorrow.
दर्शना मैडम, थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस। मैडम, ओपनिंग रिमार्क्स। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का जन्मदिन है आज।
नहीं, बहुत अच्छा।
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी
आप
जी का
सबको
जन्मदिन है और ये
बहुत
75वां जन्मदिन है।
हम हम सबकी ओर से प्रधानमंत्री जी को बहुत बहुत शुभकामना, जो 75 इयर्स उनके हुए हैं। और आजादी के अमृत काल के बाद में जो 25 वर्ष का संकल्प काल है, इसमें हम लोगों ने इस तरह का आयोजन किया है कि हम लोगों का भी छोटा छोटा जो सबका संकल्प होता है, जो हमको भारत को विश्व गुरु ले जाने के लिए अपना भी रोल होगा। और इसी इनिशिएटिव के साथ में हम साथ में मिलकर काम करेंगे। जिस तरह से टेक्सटाइल को एक विजन मिला है, लाइन मिला है, वैल्यू चेन वाले बिजनेस में हम लोग सब एक साथ में जुड़कर उनको नई ऊंचाई के ऊपर लेके जाने के लिए जो संकल्पबद्ध है, इसमें आप सभी का भी बहुत बड़ा योगदान है। हम सबका छोटा छोटा सबका योगदान जो होता है, दिक्कतें भी आती है, इश्यूज भी होते हैं, फिर भी हम सब लोगों ने मिलजुल कर जिस तरह से पूरी इकोनॉमी में टेक्सटाइल का जो रोल है, 4% से बढ़कर जो हम लोगों को एक टारगेट दिया गया है कि वैल्यू चेन में हम लोग कैसे आगे बढ़ पाए, इसमें हम लोग धीरे धीरे होके आत्मनिर्भर होके आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। तो पिछले कई सालों से हम लोगों ने देखा कि बहुत सारे बदलाव आए, बहुत सारे सुझाव भी आए, उसको सरकार ने एक्सेप्ट भी कर लिया, बातचीत के माध्यम से भी हम लोग जुड़ते गए। लेकिन आजादी के 75 साल में जितना हुआ है, इसमें अगर कंपेरेटिवली पिछले 10 साल का हम लोगों का जो एक मापदंड निकाले, तो हम लोगों को लगेगा कि हमें अच्छा बेस मिल गया है। क्योंकि टेक्सटाइल सबसे पहली जरूरियात होती है हम सबकी, जिसमें जीएसटी रिफॉर्म के बाद में हमने देखा कि अभी पिछले महीने जो जीएसटी रिफॉर्म हुआ है, और सबसे पहली बार जीएसटी आया था, तो सबसे पहली इफेक्ट टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री को हुई थी। तो इसको धीरे धीरे करके सॉल्व करके हम लोगों को जो चीज हम भारत में बना सकते हैं, आत्मनिर्भर हो सकते हैं, जिसमें हम डिपेंडेंट कम हो, इसमें हम लोगों को ज्यादा फोकस दिया गया। मुझे याद है 3 साल पहले जब मंत्रालय मैंने संभाला, तभी सभी एम्बेसी से भी बात हुई थी कि क्या हम एक्सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं और इंपोर्ट कम से कम होए। इसी आधार के ऊपर टेक्सटाइल की पूरी वैल्यू चेन का एक विजन रखा गया। और जो भारत टैक्स है, उनका परिणाम है कि हम लोग सब एक प्लेटफॉर्म पर आ पाए, हम लोग कहीं ना कहीं जुड़ पाए और अपना अपना जो योगदान है हम पूरा कर रहे हैं। कि 75 साल बहुत बड़ी बात होती है, कि 100 साल के संकल्प के लिए हम लोगों को कटिबद्ध होना है। तो हम सब यही प्रार्थना करें कि हम सबकी ओर से प्रधानमंत्री जी को एक अच्छा स्वास्थ्य दे। जिस तरह से उन्होंने निर्णय लिए हैं, जिस तरह से देश सेवा और डेडिकेशन के साथ में हम सबसे जुड़े हैं, जो हमारे अपने लगते हैं, तो ऐसे प्रधानमंत्री जी को प्रधानमंत्री जन्मदिन के ऊपर उनको बहुत शुभकामना। वैसे तो उनको अच्छा नहीं लगता कि उनकी शुभकामना के साथ में कुछ जोड़ा जाए, या तो बर्थडे के दिन वो सेवा कार्य से जुड़े रहते हैं। लेकिन पिछले साल जब विश्वकर्मा योजना लॉन्च हुई, तब सबसे पहले मुझे जो एक एक्सपीरियंस हुआ था कि उस दिन विश्वकर्मा योजना, जिसमें 18 जो हैंडलूम हैंडीक्राफ्ट की स्कीम से, जिसमें जिसके हाथों में कला है, हुनर है, उनको जोड़ा गया, जो हमारी वैल्यू चेन के टेक्सटाइल की वैल्यू चेन से जुड़े हुए लोग हैं। तो उसके लिए जो योजना बनाई, उसकी लॉन्चिंग के लिए मैं लक्षद्वीप गई थी, और लक्षद्वीप के टापू के ऊपर भी वहां की महिला उससे साथ जुड़ गई थी। और उनका जो संकल्प था कि हम लोग अपना कुछ न कुछ योगदान दे, हम घर पे बैठकर या आत्मनिर्भर होके, वोकल फॉर लोकल की जो बात चल रही है अभी, जो सांप्रत राजनीति में जो एक हालात हुए हैं, जिसमें हम लोगों को स्वदेशी को अपनाना है, इसमें हम सबका बहुत योगदान हो। आप सब लोग इंडस्ट्री से जुड़े हुए लोग हैं, कहीं ना कहीं एक्सपर्ट है। आपकी वजह से मुझे सबको जुड़ने का भी मौका मिला, ताई को भी देखने का मौका मिला, तो बहुत अच्छा लगा। सुमित जी को और सभी जो पैनल में जुड़े हुए हैं, सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और हम सब की ओर से प्रधानमंत्री जी को 75वें साल की शुभकामना।
Madam, thank you so much for the opening remarks. But we are going to be talking to you about a lot of things. काफी सारे विषय ऐसे हैं कि आपका जो सेक्टर है, जो सबसे ज्यादा जो है रोजगार की संभावनाएं प्रदान करता है देश को, और एम्प्लॉयमेंट के अलावा जो व्यवसाय के तौर पे भी जो इम्पैक्ट हुआ है, टैरिफ, ट्रेड, ट्रम्प, टर्मोइल, ये जो 4T है, इंडिया के लिए बड़े घातक सिद्ध हुए हैं। और भारत में जो टेक्सटाइल्स की इंडस्ट्री है, खास करके जो साउथ में तिरुपुर और जो ईस्ट में जो बंगाल वगैरह जो एरियाज हैं, जो एमएसएमई में इतना अच्छा करते थे, अब जो एक्सपोर्ट्स में जो टैक्सेस बढ़ा दिए गए हैं, इन सब विषयों पे हम बात करेंगे और कैसे अब आने वाले समय में क्योंकि कॉटन कॉर्पोरेशन भी हमारे साथ जुड़ा है। रिसेंटली आप लोगों ने इंपोर्ट ड्यूटी रिड्यूस करी और कॉटन के जो है जो आज की डेट में प्राइसेस रिड्यूस हुए हैं, उस चक्कर में अब प्रोडक्शन थोड़ा सा इंप्रूव होगा। लेकिन एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आफ्टर सितंबर व्हाट, जब ये नया सीजन शुरू होगा उसके बाद क्या, ये सारे विषयों पर आप थोड़ी सी छवि डालें, क्योंकि आप ऐसी जगह से आते हैं जहां पर टेक्सटाइल्स आज नहीं 200 साल पहले, 250 साल पहले अंग्रेजों ने जब शुरू किया तो 250 साल पहले से वहां से टेक्सटाइल्स के ऊपर काम हो रहा है। हमारे साथ में टीएसडीसी भी जुड़ चुका है, हमारे साथ बैंक ऑफ इंडिया जुड़ा हुआ है, क्योंकि बैंक ऑफ इंडिया एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्टनर है, क्योंकि वो बीएफएसआई को कैटर करता है। अब now let me also bring on board quickly somebody who knows how how the country has been progressing over the last 25-30 years, because he's been an educationist, he's been an academician, and he's somebody who also understands how the government policies work. PK Tiwari, former director IIT KGP, 50 years into the system. Opening remarks from you. तिवारी जी माइक ऑफ है आपका।
Yes, good morning to all of you present over here on a very auspicious day. And thank you, Amit ji, for calling me for this particular program. We are very happy and we would like to wish our Honorable Prime Minister the 75th birthday. I know, as Darshana ji was saying, that he doesn't like to celebrate like this, but he would like to go to some places. He would like to meet the army people. Sometimes he would like to go to other places and see that how best we can talk about India and take India to greater heights. In fact, very rightly you have said, I have been in the IIT system for last 50 years and more. And I can tell you that I had got the opportunity to talk to the Prime Minister, of course, virtually in 2021, when he was called for the 66th convocation of IIT Kharagpur online. And I can just tell you that from the time he came and and when he ended his talk, I think everybody was mesmerized. He had the unique ability to connect with all sorts of persons, with young children, with the adolescents, with the senior people, with the women, with the young child, and and the amount of aura that he's created. In fact, he has given a lot of impetus into the education system and the national education policy which has been brought. I think that is the one policy which has come after, I can say that about 200 years or so, because there was something where you write from everything can be there. And that is the way, the vision that he has created and given to this country. I think the top-bottom approach is the one which is required. There has not been anything, even in the defense system as well. We are seeing what are the level of defense that we have today and what we are there. To the education system, I remember that when I was interviewed, I was asked that, do you know what is the challenge which the government of India and particularly our Narendra Modi ji has given? I said, yes. He has said that we have to go to the $5 trillion economy. In 2018, when I was interviewed, and I said that it is the ability and the technical knowledge which the IITs, ISSR, and the NITs are there. I think they have to collect together and think of the vision the way he has put forward. And that way, I think through the national education policy, through the various areas and the G20 declaration which was there, I think through that, all the institutes and the departments, particularly I can talk of IIT Kharagpur, that we have changed, we have aligned our education system, the way we think, the way students should think, the way we should be thinking of translational research, which will ultimately change to and ultimately bring it to logical conclusions of product systems and some sort of a basis which bring money to us. In fact, when he connected the students and said that, friends, the certificate that you are going to get today on that day is just not a piece of paper. In fact, it is the aspirations of this 140 crore people जो देख रहे हैं आपको और जो चाहते हैं कि आप इस इंस्टीट्यूट से बाहर निकल के और कैसे अपने आप को इस देश के लिए लाभान्वित करेंगे। ये चीजें जो उनके कनेक्ट करने की जो उनके अंदर जो ऑरा है, I think this is marvelous. The way he connected to the student, the way he connected to the staff. In fact, when he said to the staff that you are a clear stakeholder of this particular institute, and आपका भी उसमें योगदान होना चाहिए. The vision which I had told to him while I was welcoming him, I said that, sir, we want to take this institute to the top 10 in the world in the QS ranking. And the way we are planning right from the Jhadudar to the director, and everybody has a role and we respect each other. So he just connected that and he said that every stakeholder, चाहे वो सफाई वाला हो, चाहे वो ऑफिस वर्कर हो या प्रोफेसर हो या डीन हो या कोई, हम चाहते हैं कि आप लोग ऐसा रहें जिससे कि सिस्टम को ऊपर तक ले जाया जा सके. एवं उस सिस्टम में हम चाहते हैं कि हमारी आईआईटीज ऐसा करें कि देश में हो, आप लोग ऐसे प्रोडक्ट बनाएं, ऐसे टेक्नोलॉजी लाएं, स्टार्टअप करें. और उनने इनफैक्ट हम लोग को एक टास्क भी दिया कि हम चाहते हैं कि उस समय 66 कन्वोकेशन था और 75वां हमारे देश का 75 साल पूरे हुए थे. तो उन्होंने कहा कि whatever innovations that you have done in last 60 years at your institute, all the 75 innovations, try to put them together, make them compendium of that, and also try to encourage people to show that they will be in a position to come out with products, processes, and systems at the end of whatever work that you have done. I think the way he put forward.
Tiwari ji, thank you so much. Thank you so much. These are opening remarks because the minister is here with us, former minister. Vasudev ji, thank you for joining us, former additional secretary, and is an authority on sustainability. He was also the principal chief conservator of forest. So Vasudev ji, opening remarks, because 75 schemes of the Prime Minister, 75th year of his birthday, and 75 schemes have all led to sustainable India, India's march towards sustainability. Opening remarks, Shri SP Vasudev. माइक ऑफ है आपका वासुदेव जी, माइक ऑफ है. We've also been joined by Lieutenant General Qasim Himalaya Singh. He is the first Lieutenant General of Northeastern India. Vasudev ji, your mic is off. General Rao, opening remarks.
Shall I speak, Amit ji? Shall I speak now? Audible?
Okay. Vasudev ji, please go ahead.
Good morning to you, Amit ji, and to my fellow panelists in this group discussion. A very pertinent subject you have chosen. Sustainability is a very old concept, but it received finality in the 21st century when it was defined as something. It was defined as the development that meets the need of present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. That means it must be continuous. It has got three components: social equality, economic progress, and environmental stability. When we talk of the various schemes, first of all, let me before I proceed further, congratulations to Honorable Prime Minister on his 75th birthday. And I wish and hope that he lives till 2050 to see India becoming a developed nation as he has envisioned by 2047. Now, moving forward, see, social equity means the implementation of schemes must lead to benefiting from the lowest to the highest economic category of people living in India. Similarly, environmental sustainability must ensure that we receive adequate good air, adequate pure water, adequate land stability, so that we don't see what is happening around disasters. And similarly, economic efficiency must take into account the benefit of all the social schemes which have been introduced, and you have listed in your poster which you have depicted on this forum, so that they progress sustainability, progressing year-wise, and year-wise. And all these three components of social equity, economic sustainability, and environmental stability, they move together. That is only I want to say. Then again, I will chip in. Thank you, Amit ji.
Thank you, Vasudev ji. We've been joined by Mr. David from Numaligarh Refinery. They have their AGM going on. They're principal partners for this particular meet. Let us congratulate Numaligarh Refinery for the first bamboo-based ethanol plant. Madam Darshana ji, आप हैं हमारे साथ? मिनिस्टर
हाँ जी हूँ, मैं हूँ, हाँ जुड़ी हुई हूँ।
नुमालीगढ़ रिफाइनरी ने परसों प्रधानमंत्री की अगुवाई में उनकी प्रेजेंस में 14 तारीख को पहला बाम्बू बेस्ड इथेनॉल प्लांट देश का शुरू किया। और ये एक ऐसी इनिशिएटिव है जिसके कारण पूरे नॉर्थ ईस्ट को कम से कम 5,000 करोड़ का फायदा होगा और 50,000 से ज्यादा लोगों को इसमें नौकरी का प्रावधान मिलेगा। लेट अस कांग्रेचुलेट एवरीबॉडी, द सीएमडी ऑफ नुमालीगढ़ रिफाइनरी लिमिटेड, भास्कर ज्योति फुकन and his team for this brilliant initiative, because bamboo based ethanol plant is going to pave the way for more sustainable initiatives. And we have got Lieutenant General Konsem Himalaya Singh, the first Lieutenant General of Northeast. Konsem Bhai, your reactions on Assam's brilliant, first mover advantage.
Mic is.
आपका माइक ऑन कर लीजिए। यस कौनसम भाई। ओके डेविड कुड यू प्लीज एलुसिडेट। अच्छा माइक ऑन हो गया। कौनसम भाई प्लीज योर रिएक्शंस ऑन द फर्स्ट बैम्बू बेस्ड इथेनॉल प्लांट ऑफ नॉर्थ ईस्ट, अगेन एन इनिशिएटिव ऑफ प्रधानमंत्री मोदी।
Thank you very much, Amit, for having me here amongst all the luminaries, including General Rao, who was my boss many years ago. So it's really a pleasure. As far as the bamboo initiative is concerned, I think in the last about 50 years, we have been talking about the bamboo's usage or utility in the industrial world. But I think this is the first time that ethanol plant to use the bamboo as the major input. I think this is really a great. I mean, it is the first of its kind actually heard anywhere. I don't think anywhere in the world this is existing, but definitely in the Northeast, this is the first time which is being implemented. And I congratulate those people who were involved in making it a success. And as you know, Northeast is full of bamboos. In fact, the entire countryside, the forest, everywhere the bamboos are there. So I agree with you that this initiative is going to be a game changer, one of the game changers that we'll see in the near future.
Sure. General Singh, Komsan Bhai, thank you so much for the opening remarks. This is going to be something which we are going to talk about because Cotton Corporation is also with us. They are, they procure cotton from the farmers. Not only it creates a lot of employment, entrepreneurship, but it also paves way for the huge textiles industry in this country, which is already facing a huge problem because of the tariffs being imposed on the exports. Suddenly, 50% tariffs. And they say the industry has been hit so hard that since the season is going to start very soon again, and the rates, the import duty reductions or the rates, there is a kind of arbitrage which has happened between the imports and the procurement rates. This particular advantage that is there with the industry will be given away in the next 2 months. Then what? That Mr. Minister is there with us and Cotton Corporation is there with us. Cotton and jute are two of the most, and khadi, they are the most sustainable fabrics that we have with us. And India is one of the leaders of cotton. General Rao, somebody who is a brilliant speaker, no holds barred. He is one Rocky Balboa I know for many years. Somebody who will give you an uppercut and a jab as per the requirement. The dose is perfect. Over to you, General Rao.
A very good morning to you all, and I think it's a great day that we are celebrating today. We are fortunate to be in the nation to celebrate Modi ji's 75. Incidentally, I have crossed 75 or 3 months back. Okay. Now, can you hear me? Amit, I'm okay? Yeah. Okay, good. I think majority of the speakers are aware of the entire schemes which are going on, and I can see the economic focus which is being talked about, but I'll just talk of two brilliant things which have been happening on two facets. One is on the defense and second is on the foreign affairs. The way we have handled Ops Sindoor talks of the acumen and the shrewdness of Modi ji. I think we have hit hard, we have delivered the message, and yet we got ourselves very clear from the world to say that we are not warmongers, we are peace lovers. And yet, when there is a problem, we need to deliver a message, we need to tell our friend. I think we have done it exceedingly well. Earlier, it started with surgical strike, and I think it's been a great escalation in Operation Sindoor. And the way the defense production is going on today, the Atmanirbharta, speaks volumes of the visionary of Modi ji. Similarly, when you look at the way we are handling the foreign affairs, I think again, in such a critical crisis-like situation, where we are being tried to be held at ransom by United States for our basic requirements being met, taken from Russian oil, I think again we stood our ground, which again speaks a very high intellect, focus, and getting your team together, especially when you have Shri Jaishankarji, who followed up with late Sushma ji. I think we have come a long way in both these fields. And as an introductory mark, I will only speak this much. And only point which I wish to say is I'll come back again. While I can see many people we are going to talk about achievements, possibly I'll come back at some point to say, when we do a review, it's important to see, are there areas which require improvement? Thank you, Amit. Thanks a lot. I think as far as defense and foreign affairs are concerned, having grown in 1950 with the same age, I don't think we have reached that particular citadel in the worldly affairs since independence. Where we are today speaks volumes, standing, the way the country is taken in the world, the way we have a say, the way people look up to us for advice, people look up to our actions, and they also, countries like USA have been retracting or trying to understand our point of view. I think that's a great political way of Chanukya's descendant. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We've been joined by Alexander Thomas. Dr. Thomas is the leader of Association of Healthcare Providers of India, 15,000 hospitals. Dr. Thomas is also a sustainability champion. He talks about green health coverage, and he talks about how sustainability angle is very important, But before I bring him in, we've also been joined by TSD, CIL, and Numaligarh Refinery. TSD, CIL, who are the representatives we have with us? Mr. Mr. Suraj Agarwal and Mr. Ayush Walia. Are you there with us, Mr. Walia?
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Walia, are you there with us? Camera is on for everyone, please. From Amulya Maika, we've got Mr. Deepak Gupta, one of the laminate providers who take care of sustainability. And then we've got the sustainability lead from Brandix, Dr. Mohini I'm sorry, the title is not clear to me. Dr. Mohini has joined with us. Now, Amulya Maika is into the laminate manufacturing. And as far as Mohini ji is concerned, she is the sustainability lead. They are all people who have won accolades for their brilliant initiatives. In fact, Brandix has been contributing to the India growth story for the last few years. And Amulya has been doing a lot of work towards sustainable green laminate manufacturing. And also, we've been joined by Bank of India, who have worked in the areas of women empowerment, in the areas of rural development, and also for various CSR practices. We've been joined by CCI, Cotton Corporation of India, who are credited with procuring cotton. Dr. Thomas, before I bring you in, David from Numaligarh Refinery. David, could you take us through the first sustainable bioethanol plant based on bamboo?
Okay, sir.
Your management, Dr. Bhaskar Jyoti Bhukan, for this wonderful initiative. And the Prime Minister on the 14th of September had been to Golaghat, Upper Assam to inaugurate India's first bamboo-based ethanol plant.
Thank you so much, Amitji, for introducing me. My name is David, and I would also like to thank each and every panelist for joining us here today. We would also like to thank you for your nice introduction to our first 2G biorefinery in Assam, Golaghat district. So the vision behind the setting up of the biorefinery is for the co-growth of our stakeholders as well. As you know, as many of you might know, that Northeast is full of bamboo and bamboo trees. So we aim to provide a situation wherein we can provide a sustainable source of income for the local communities that we serve with, as well as providing a source of income, as well as growing together with our communities. So this bioethanol plant is, observed and also created to ensure that our businesses will grow along with the growth of our communities, as well as through the procurement from our local level entrepreneurs, as well as the involvement of our local level stakeholders in different parts of the state. We will go together. Also, I would also like to mention that Numaligarh Refinery Limited has been doing various CSR activities in the northeastern region of India. We have done various CSR activities on healthcare, livelihoods, skill development, art and culture promotion, as well as the promotion of women welfare as well. So through all these efforts, we want to grow not only as a business, but also an implementing partner for various development agencies, as well as for developmental activities in the Northeast region. So I would like to once again thank you so much for the introduction. And as the forum goes along, I would also like to share more insights if you give me the chance. Thank you so much, Amitji.
Thank you so much, David. Please stay with us because, Numaligarh Refinery is not only credited with bamboo-based ethanol plant. There are so many other initiatives which cater to, you have had so much problems with the Gaja Utsav being celebrated last year. You had problems with the elephant-human conflict, which you people have been able to manage. In fact, just before the day before the Prime Minister arrived, there was a little bit of problem, but then that got sorted out. These are all, credits this is to be credited to the company that despite being in a terrain which is so difficult to maintain, you maintained a green plant, you maintained the green topology, you maintained the wildlife-human conflict balance, to some extent. Let me also bring on board Dr. Alexander Thomas. Dr. Thomas, your views on sustainability, how Mr. Modi's 11 years of good governance has led to sustainable health, apart from the Ayushman Bharat scheme and all that. There are so many issues. Lakhs of crores, not lakhs of crores, probably crores of funds pending from the CGHS. There are so many disconnects with the insurance sector. They have got their way through with respect to GST reductions. But then of late, we've been hearing stories about companies like Star Health, Viva, Bajaj, who are being barred by you for the cashless rejections. So over to you, Dr. Thomas, with respect to the health vis-a-vis sustainability angle, and what is the way forward for the government under this great leader, Narendra Bhai Modi.
Yeah, thank you, Amit, and namaste to all my very senior colleagues. Since I'm working in health, I thought I'd talk on the subject of the health sector and climate change and a call to action. Firstly, I must say that the government has put in a lot of effort and a lot of things are happening at the ground level. So when we think of climate change as an environmental crisis, but actually it is a health emergency. It is an emergency, and I put that in capital letters. Rising temperatures, polluted air, contaminated water, and extreme weather events are already impacting the health of millions of Indians all over the country. You hear about it on a daily basis. And especially the poor, the elderly, and the vulnerable. And yet, if you actually look at it, we rarely look at how the healthcare sector itself contributes to the crisis. And more importantly, what can we do to change it? Now, globally, and probably the same story in India, we contribute nearly 5% of the carbon emissions. In India, hospitals are often resource intensive with high energy uses. medical waste is there, then reliance on single-use plastics. Unfortunately, sustainability has been an afterthought. It's not been the focus it should be. And hospital design has to be included, and even in the insurance, this is not at all thought of, and it needs to be included. Even simple changes that each of us can do in a hospital, switching to LED lighting, solar power, reusable solar OR, operation theater kits, better HVAC systems, they yet have to come into the mainstream. And this actually brings me to the real paradox. We in the health sector exist to save lives, but unfortunately, we are inadvertently harming planetary health and also many of our population. Now, climate change as a health multiplier, it's already amplifying health risks. Heat waves you read about every day, especially in North and in Andhra. This increases cardiovascular and renal complications. Air pollution is causing a surge in asthma, COPD, and also stroke. Vector-borne diseases, and this all of you may not be very familiar, but these are diseases which has come out as a result of climate change. Malaria, dengue, they are expanding into new geographies now. Disasters on an everyday basis are disrupting healthcare delivery and exposing gaps in the infrastructure resilience. In other words, that healthcare institutions sometimes are built in such a way that they're not able to withstand these natural disasters, and then they are destroyed during these disasters, and that also needs to be taken into consideration. Unfortunately, health policies, although I must say that some policies have started being impacted, but insurance systems do not adequately cover climate-sensitive conditions, or nor do they fund the infrastructure adaptation. So what have I done very briefly in this space is, all of you I'm sure have heard of the Public Health Foundation of India. Along with them, we have founded something called the Health and Environment Leadership Platform. It's called HELP. And this is in partnership with an organization called Healthcare Without Harm. And we are actually now leading this initiative in the healthcare sector. We have a very robust network all over the country. We are trying to reduce emissions, adopt sustainable practices, and also train healthcare professionals in the health of the planet in addition to the health of our population. We have various things we have done. We are trying to green the operating theater. Operating theater is, we try and one of the most wasteful areas of a hospital in terms of water, in terms of energy, in terms of waste. We're also looking on trying to get hospitals to be prepared to be climate resilient. There is a term used that they are also survive and be able to provide services when there is a natural disaster. And through HELP, we are showcasing real actual studies of hospitals running on solar energy, rainwater harvesting, and green procurement. That is, you buy your stuff from people who are also following the same principles. And what are we doing through this, sharing these real-world examples, is that this is possible, it is scalable, and it is affordable. We are trying to work with the IRDA to try and incentivize hospitals. We have started a concept of grading of hospitals with the Quality Council of India, where we give a lot of importance to sustainability. And we also are working with the NABH. I'm sure all of you have heard of the National Accreditation Board for Healthcare Organizations. They have actually come up with green hospital standards working with us. And we are now working, once again, trying to work with insurers that they recognize climate resilience and eco certification as key criteria for empowerment and also to incentivize this. So what happens next? We must move from sick care to well care. It's a very important prevention, from carbon intensive healthcare to climate smart systems. This requires a multi-pronged approach, and I'll end with this. It requires policy integration. We need to impress on the policymakers that climate resilience must be built into health policies, hospital accreditation, medical curriculum, very importantly. We are trying to introduce in curriculum and also in disaster planning. Financial alignment is important. We have to incentivize hospitals through insurance premiums and subsidies for implementing green practices. Capacity building is something which is very crucial. The health sector has very little knowledge. The people who are working there, we need to capacity build. We need to train healthcare workers and administrators in climate literacy, that's the term used, and sustainable operations. And of course, through all of you, public awareness, empower citizens to demand eco-friendly hospitals and understand the health risks of this climate change. So in conclusion, I'm talking from Riyadh of the health sector as doctors, hospital leaders, and health policymakers. We are custodians not only of human health, but also of planetary health. I think all of us, each of us have a responsibility that we need to keep the planet a better place for our future. The good news is that what is good for the planet is also good for our patients. Cleaner air, safer infrastructure, better food systems, and reduced waste all lead to better health outcomes. I think let us together ensure that healthcare not only heals patients, but also heals the world. Thank you for your patience and listening to me. I can take a few questions if required.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thomas, because you are such an erudite and such an articulate gentleman. I know you for years. I hope that this deadlock between the insurers and the health sector gets resolved no sooner than later, because the more this gets prolonged, the more difficult it becomes for the hapless customers, hapless citizens of this country. Terry Hydro, TSTCIL, has joined us through Suraj and Mr. Ayush Walia. This is a very critical sector. The MNRE, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Recently, just a little bit on the other side, I was told that the financing to this, we've also been joined by Bank of India. Puspita is there from Bank of India. They have contributed a lot through Nari Shakti account program. They have this women empowerment programs. Bank of India, I must congratulate and thank Rajneesh Karnatak, the CEO and MD, for also having done a lot of work around the rural development, supporting schemes for the farmers. And also there are so many other green financing and financing the green initiatives. And most importantly, let us congratulate Bank of India, 120 years, celebrated on the, I think on the 7th of or the 8th of September. Bank of India has celebrated 120 years of existence, and they have 120 million customers, 12 crore customers, happy customers, because Bank of India is very proud in saying that one of the USPs that the Minister of Finance, Ms. Sitharaman, is driving today is happy customers. And from the PSU Bank's perspective, PSB Bank perspective, Bank of India is one of the leaders in the happy customers area. TSD is into the renewable energy sector, and TSD is somebody who takes care of the hydro, apart from the solar and the wind power energy, initiatives of the government of India, especially when there is so much talk about green hydrogen, so much talk about bioethanol. We've got bio people from NRL. Let us hear it out from TSD also. Any one of you, Mr. Walia or Surajji. Your mics need to be on. Please, Terry Hydro, Suraj, please go ahead.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So, sir, as well said, we are among the power developers. So earlier we were named as TSDC India, Terry Hydro Development Corporation, and now we are called as TSDC India Limited. So we are one of the public sector enterprises, Schedule 1 Miniratna, and we are working in the field of renewable energy, mostly renewable. We have developed 2,400 megawatt Terry hydropower complex. And apart from that, we are working in several other projects which are related to, say, for hydro, for solar, for wind, for say, we are also working with a pilot plant on green hydrogen. So with our vision for a integrated global entity to deliver sustainable solutions, we are exploring various projects, various activities as far as sustainable development is concerned. We are working on environment fronts, right from the start of Himalayas. We have projects at Vishnugad, Pipalkoti. We are working with various forest divisions, entities. We are working on biodiversity management fronts. We are working on green belt development for the slope stabilization works across various regions. When we come to CSR activities, we have a very good group. Though I'm from environment front, we are looking from on the aspects of environment clearance and other activities, forest clearances throughout India, whether it is our one proposed project in Arunachal Pradesh or in several projects in Uttarakhand. One thermal power project is also there, that is at Khurja near Bulandshahr in Uttar Pradesh, and we are using the state-of-art technologies, one of the best possible technologies to address the sustainable challenges which can hinder the sustainable development. For our thermal plants, we are using supercritical technologies with best pollution mitigation measures. And for our now we are also focusing now on PSPs, pump storage plants, as government is focusing more on pump storage power plants, because the solar plants or wind plants, they also have some challenges. For example, government is focusing on battery energy storage systems along with solar power projects. So pump storage plants can work on that. Now, when we talk of CSR activities, we have a very good cell on corporate social responsibility. We have 3 schools up to +2 level, and which are working very fine at our various locations. One is at Rishikesh and 2 are at hilly areas and tough terrains of Tiheri and Koteshwar. We have several other projects. We have some tie-ups with some government institutes on health aspects, on telemedicines. We are working on plantations. We are working on income generations. So I think that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Suraj and Ayush. Let us also thank Mr. Vishnoi, the chairman of TSDCI, who has been one of the key leaders in the renewable energy space. Yes, there are challenges like in terms of the financing activities. Recently, I was listening to one of the top 2 financing companies of the government of India for the renewable energy sector. And there I was, educated that it becomes difficult to manage new investments, because MNRE also means Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Madam Darshana Jardosh, she is former Minister of Textiles, and she is one of the tallest leaders in the country. We've been joined by Brandix also. This is one of the top capital city companies in the southern part of the country. Dr. Moini is there with us. We got Cotton Corporation of India. Madam is sustainable textiles, because हर चीज अब सस्टेनेबिलिटी की तरफ जा रही है. ये सस्टेनेबल टेक्सटाइल्स और सस्टेनेबल क्लोथिंग के ऊपर में क्या इनिशिएटिव्स आपकी मिनिस्ट्री ने मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में लिए, और आने वाले समय में इंडिया को आगे और कितना डेवलप करना है. जैसे अब आप कॉटन प्रोक्योर करते हैं फार्मर से, कॉटन कॉर्पोरेशन वाले हैं, और मोहिनी भी हमें बताएंगी. बट बिफोर यू टॉक अबाउट इट, डॉक्टर मोहिनी, what are your key initiatives in the sustainability from a textile perspective, apparel part perspective?
Good morning to all the respected dignitaries. So coming to sustainability at Brandix India Apparel City, so this is a 1,000-acre textile park. So here the concept is to deliver from fiber to store. So here we have considered 3 sustainability pillars: air, water and earth. And also this park is certified with ISO 14001:2015 environmental management system. So under air, currently we are working on clean energy initiatives. So here we already have installed rooftop solar panels, ground mounted solar. So, and in the future, we are also focusing on installing floating solar panels. And coming to water, we have a combined 500 million liter capacity rainwater harvesting pond. So this is actually helping our park to actually source more than 40% of our annual water consumption through renewable source. Also, we are a zero groundwater extracting park. And the rainwater, we are not just focusing on renewable sources, but also we are in the thing of giving it back to the community. So coming to rainwater, our rainwater harvesting pond is designed in such a way that it also recharges the groundwater, though we do not use any groundwater. At the same time, we are also providing, we also have a water treatment plant. It's a common water treatment plant. So the water is properly treated in the water treatment plant and then pumped to the units, facilities who are accommodated within our park. So we ensure that we are providing clean drinking water for all the employees working here. And we also have achieved a 0 PET bottle status. In this park, we do not use any kind of PET bottle. So for that, we have implemented many initiatives. to avoid that. So as a for underwater pillar, we have all these initiatives, and we are also working a lot more on becoming, water neutral in the going forward in the future. And under pillar earth, we have a common effluent treatment plant. So basically, this common effluent treatment plant, earlier there is sludge generation. So the treated effluent is sent to marine outfall, and the sludge, whatever is being generated. So we earlier it was sent for landfilling, which is an authorized disposal methodology. But then we thought we need to go beyond that. So as a sustainable initiative, what we did was now we have a solar sludge drying unit. So the best part of the solar sludge drying unit is it does not use any conventional energy. It is actually based on greenhouse effect, where basically it uses the solar radiation to dry the sludge, and at the end it takes some 8 days for the wet sludge to dry, and the end dry sludge is having calorific value almost close to that of coal, so a low grade coal. So now what we did is we started sending this to cement factory, where this is being used as an alternate fuel. So with this initiative, we could convert waste into a resource. So it's being used as an alternate fuel. So it also helps, reduce dependency on the fossil fuels. And at the same time, this also enabled our park to become a zero landfill apparel park. So none of the waste, whatever is being generated within our park, goes for landfilling. Everything either goes to reuse, recycle, or energy recovery. So basically, so we also have this zero waste policy, which we are working on in the future. Currently, no waste is going as a waste. It is going into some or the other process. And we are also working on circular economy, basically being an apparel park. So we have certain restrictions where we might not be able to send certain kind of fabric for recycling, for which we are actually looking for options. And we are also have explored few out of which we are working on. Maybe in the future, this will go into an upcycling process where we can convert this fabric waste into zero boards, so which can be used for furnishing, tiles and walls and everything. And also as a part of pillar, we also have developed green belt, which is in over 116 acres, more than whatever is required, 33%. We have gone beyond that. And we also have started an initiative in the year 2020, where we started that by 2026, and we want to plant 1 lakh saplings, out of which we have already completed planting 87,000 saplings, and rest of the 13,000 will be finished in this financial year. At the same time, Brandix has not just had the sustainability as a part of its journey. Basically, Brandix India, which was established in the year 2008 in Visakhapatnam. So here, this was established with sustainability being in its DNA. Basically, during the architectural design itself, we have ensured that certain initiatives which will give benefits on the long run. For example, we do not use any kind of pumps for the water treatment plant to send it into the units. So basically, the water is pumped to the units, treated water, potable water is sent to units through gravity. At the same time, wherever the whatever effluent we are generating, each and every facility, it goes into the common effluent treatment plant, where we ensure this effluent is only going through gravity. We do not use any pumps at any facilities. Only one pump is used at our common effluent treatment plant, where it is required to send into the first process, physical treatment. At the same time, with this, we were able to avoid, this architectural design. This helped us avoid at least 200 tons of carbon emissions on annual basis, because this is a sustainable and a long-term initiative. At the same time, our buildings were also designed in such a way with respect to green building standards, guidelines. So the longest length is faced in the northern and southern direction, so which will help reduce the heat trapping within the buildings, that which will obviously help us to use lesser rely.
Okay, thank you, Mohini. Thank you so much. Let me quickly bring in the minister, madam.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many initiatives that she has spoken about. in an apparel
सुमित जी, आपने बहुत अच्छा इनिशिएटिव लिया है। मुझे एक दूसरे कार्यक्रम में भी जाना है। जैसे सस्टेनेबिलिटी पे बात करने के बजाय उन्होंने जो अभी बताया कि उन्होंने जो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन किया है, जो सोलार के लिए, पानी के लिए, वाटर रिसोर्सेज के लिए, तो ये पूरी इंडस्ट्री को साथ में मिलकर इसमें आगे आना चाहिए। तो वैसे सरकार की ओर से, मिनिस्ट्री की ओर से आप सबको बहुत मैं शुभकामना भी देती हूँ। मुझे और कार्यक्रम में भी जाना है, तो मैं आपसे
ये जो
विनती
इतने
करती
सारे
हूँ।
अभी आप अमेरिका जाके आए, जैसे एक चीज जानना चाहेंगे, और आपने इतना सब कुछ देखा है टेक्सटाइल्स में, क्या ये जो इनिशिएटिव ये ब्रांडिंग जैसी कंपनी ले रही है या कॉटन कॉर्पोरेशन लेते हैं पानी को
बहुत
बचाने
अच्छा है ना,
वगैरह वगैरह,
बहुत अच्छा
इससे
है,
क्या?
क्योंकि सोलार का यूज और जो यहाँ पे इंडस्ट्री में लोगों ने जो टेक्निकली जो अपनी मशीनें अपग्रेड करी है, इसमें भी कैसे बिजली बचाई जाए, पानी बचाया जाए, और सस्टेनेबिलिटी पे और रिसाइकलिंग वाला जो है मटेरियल, उसमें भी काफी कि अपना वेस्टेज जो है उनको कैसे रिसाइकल किया जाए। मैं तो ऐसे शहर में रहती हूँ जहाँ जो इंडस्ट्री को पानी भी मिलता है वो सीएस ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट से रिसाइकल करके इंडस्ट्री को मिलता है। तो ऐसे सस्टेनेबिलिटी पे बहुत सारे इनिशिएटिव कई जगह पे लिए हैं। और आज जो धार में ओपनिंग जाने, हमारे लिए तो गर्व की बात है कि टेक्सटाइल रिलेटेड पीएम मित्रा का जो उनका जो सपना है, जो उन्होंने 7 पार्क दिए, इसमें धार का ओपनिंग करने ही वो जा रहे हैं। तो टेक्सटाइल रिलेटेड ही इंडस्ट्री को बढ़ावा देने के लिए जो एक इंटीग्रेटेड स्कीम जो उन्होंने बताई है कि एक साथ में एक प्लग एंड प्ले बिजनेस के साथ में सब लोग एक साथ में मिलकर क्वालिटी कंट्रोल से प्रोडक्शन करेंगे, तो हमारी क्वांटिटी भी अच्छी रहेगी और क्वालिटी भी अच्छी रहेगी और कॉस्ट भी कम आएगी। तो इसी तरह से पूरी वैल्यू चेन में काम करने के लिए सरकार कटिबद्ध है।
कॉटन कॉर्पोरेशन, आप मैडम से कुछ कहना चाहते हैं? मैडम अभी चली जाएंगे, कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
नहीं, लेकिन चली जाएंगे, आप कंटिन्यू करिए, हम तो मिलते रहेंगे ऐसे। आपने बुलाया बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन आज बहुत सारे कार्यक्रम है इसी के
मैडम
हिसाब से।
आपकी तरफ आप हम मैं एल के गुप्ता की तरफ से भी, एल के गुप्ता जी जो इनके चेयरमैन है, उन्होंने काफी सारे इनिशिएटिव्स लिए हैं कॉटन कॉर्पोरेशन की तरफ से। उनकी तरफ से भी मैं आपको साधुवाद जनाता हूँ कि आपने इतना समय दिया इतने शॉर्ट नोटिस पे, और आज आपकी इंडस्ट्री इतने बड़े स्ट्रगल से गुजर रही है, उसके बावजूद भी आप इतना हंसमुख चेहरा लेके आ गए हमारे सामने। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैडम, थैंक यू सो मच। ओके, कॉटन कॉर्पोरेशन,
हेलो।
okay, Cotton Corporation of India, we've got a great gentleman, VK Tiwari ji with us. He's been with the IIT for 50 years. 50
Yes.
साल आईआईटी खड़गपुर की इन्होंने लिटरली नींव रखी है, इस तरह से बोल सकते हैं। आप
Yes,
लोग टेक्नोलॉजिकली या फिर क्या ऐसी इनिशिएटिव्स ले रहे हैं, जैसे ब्रांडिक्स ने बताया, जो द इनिशिएटिव्स विच समथिंग you are proud of in the sustainability perspective? Probably Professor Tiwari could add on to that also. कॉटन कॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ इंडिया,
नीरज नीरज कुमार सर, यहाँ कॉटन कॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ इंडिया से। हेलो।
कौन है?
नीरज कुमार।
ओके ओके।
ओके सर, एक्चुअली सबसे पहले तो सर मैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को उनके 75th बर्थडे के ऊपर हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं देता हूं, और उसके साथ में ही सर मैं सीसीआई के द्वारा जो सस्टेनेबिलिटी के लिए जो प्रोजेक्ट चलाए जा रहे हैं उनके बारे में थोड़ी ब्रीफ में जानकारी दूंगा, क्योंकि सबको पता है कि सीसीआई वैसे फार्मर्स के लिए क्या कर रही है। गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा जो एमएसपी का जो प्राइस डिक्लेयर किए जाते हैं उनको फार्मर्स तक किस तरह से उनको पहुंचाया जाए, और टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर के अंदर किस तरह से सप्लाई को भी मेंटेन रखा जाए, तो ये सीसीआई 1970 से ही करती आ रही है। तो सीसीआई का मेन काम तो यही है कि फार्मर को सशक्त बनाना, और फार्मिंग के कुछ ऐसे तरीके अगर यदि मौजूद हैं, या कुछ ऐसे अल्टरनेट नेचुरल फाइबर्स वगैरह अगर प्रकृति में मौजूद हैं जिनसे किसानों को उनका फाइनेंशियल इंप्रूवमेंट के लिए हेल्प मिल सके, तो उन चीजों को डेवलप करने के लिए सीसीआई हमेशा तत्पर रही है। और उसी के अंदर सीसीआई ने अभी इस साल से एक मिल्क फीड करके सर नेचुरल फाइबर है, उसके लिए निट्रा के साथ में हम लोग एक प्रोग्राम कर रहे हैं, जिसके अंदर अभी हम लोगों ने पहले पोर्ट्स को कलेक्ट किया था, और उससे एक फाइबर से कुछ गारमेंट्स वगैरह बनाने की दिशा में काम चल रहा है कुछ। क्योंकि जो मिल्क वीड का जो फाइबर है जो बनता है, ये मतलब ठंड के एरिया जो है जैसे लद्दाख वगैरह का है, जो वहाँ पे जो हमारे जवान वगैरह हैं उनके लिए जो कपड़े वगैरह बनाते हैं, तो हीट रेजिस्टेंस का काम करता है ये। तो उसमें काफी इफेक्टिवनेस है इस चीज के लिए। तो हम लोग निट्रा से मिलके पहले हमने इसका कलेक्शन किया, उसके अंदर हम लोगों ने काफी ज्यादा काम किया, जिसे हमें 25 टन का टारगेट दिया गया था, लेकिन हमने लगभग 57 टन के आसपास कलेक्ट करके निट्रा को प्रोवाइड किया है। और इस कमिंग ईयर के अंदर अभी हम लोगों ने 3 स्टेट के अंदर, हरियाणा, राजस्थान और पंजाब और यूपी के अंदर कुछ जगह पर इसकी सोइंग भी की है निट्रा के साथ में मिलके, ताकि इसको और आगे फर्दर डेवलप किया जा सके और जो भी फ्यूचर में इससे फार्मर्स को हेल्प मिल सके या एक अल्टरनेट हमें उपलब्ध हो सके, इस चीज के ऊपर भी हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं। तो फिलहाल तीनों चारों स्टेट में सोइंग हो चुकी है और जर्मिनेशन वगैरह होके और पौधे अच्छे अपने यानी कि नेचुरल वे में बढ़ रहे हैं। इसका आगे जैसे कि ये लगभग 2 साल का प्रोजेक्ट है, तो 2 साल के अंदर जो भी इसके आउटकम्स होंगे वो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट स्टेजेस के ऊपर हम लोग इनको डिस्कस करेंगे सर इस चीज के लिए। और
नीरज जी, कॉटन वर्सेस जूट, ये मेरे को जो थोड़ी बहुत नॉलेज है, जूट इज सपोज टू बी वन ऑफ द मोस्ट सस्टेनेबल फैब्रिक, आई मीन मटेरियल वी हैव विद अस। और आप ही की
बिल्कुल
कंपनी से कोई अब मिस्टर पानीग्री अब सीजीएम लेवल से सीधा सीएमडी बन के जूट कॉर्पोरेशन ज्वाइन करने वाले हैं, जहां तक हमें पता है।
यस सर, पानीग्री सर हैं सर, मिस्टर
पानीग्री
संजय
जी
कुमार
हैं,
पानीग्री
तो जा रहे हैं। तो ये जूट कॉटन का जो भाईचारा है, इसमें दोनों में क्या फर्क है? और ये दोनों जुड़वा भाई हैं या दोनों में कुछ फर्क भी है?
सर दोनों नेचुरल फाइबर हैं और दोनों के डिफरेंट डिफरेंट यूजेज हैं। ठीक है, ये भाईचारा इसके अंदर बोल सकते हैं ये सर कि दोनों एक ही मिनिस्ट्री के अंदर में आते हैं, पर इनका काम करने का तरीका बिल्कुल अलग अलग है सर। और जो कपास है, इसकी अपनी एक अलग से फीचर्स रहते हैं, इनको हम लोग बैम्बू से कंपेयर उस चीज में नहीं कर पाएंगे सर। और बेम्बू का जो यानी फाइबर बनाने का जो तरीका है और ये जो कपास का है और इनकी सस्टेनेबिलिटी है और मार्केट है सर, ये टोटली डिफरेंट है सर, दोनों की दोनों चीजें। तो इनको आपस में कंपेयर करना सर मुझे पॉसिबल नहीं लगता सर इस चीज के लिए।
Professor Tiwari, in your 50-year stint at IIT KGP, now I bring a technocrat in this. Before that, Bank of India, is there anybody? Pushpita had joined us for some time, but then Pushpita is supposed to, she's just messaged me that she's in a meeting. We were supposed to have Jyoti, SK Rena, and Mr. Amit Kumar from Bank of India. Are you there with us? Professor Tiwari, technically, what are your suggestions, for the textiles industry, if I may say, because this has become a textile-heavy discussion recently?
Well, I think it will be wrong to say that I have expertise in textile, but I know that IIT Delhi has a department of textile engineering and they do a lot of work. Particularly, if you want to say, I would say that the machineries which are designed for taking care of the textile for its refinement as well as for fabric and all that, I think those are the inputs which IITs have been, particularly IIT Delhi. So this much I can tell you. But if you talk about the sustainability with regard to these, I think many things that IIT Kharagpur has done, because if you know that out of the, you have very rightly said in the beginning itself, that this is the first IIT, of course, of the world as well, because there was no IIT before, and it was thought of in 1948. I can tell you that this is the IIT which has started in a village, and virtually that way, we have the AQI varying between 20 and 30 only as compared to any other IITs which are there in other places. And we had a target, we have planned a target of carbon neutral by 2035. And I can tell you that several initiatives we have taken. For example, now we have about 20%, approximately 20% of energy from solar. And then we have about 98% of our refuse, whatever we get from the hostels, from the campus, everything is recycled. And I think we are using for those, actually for the green to the villages, we are giving them the same manure. And then we have water, whatever water is there, refuse water which is available, that we are cleaning and utilizing that water for our campus, particularly for those who want for the gardening purposes, as well as for giving to the channeling to some of the nearby villages where we can give water during the required time. And I can tell you that all the solar, as I said, but then if the buildings, we want to have the solar, total solar. And we have taken care of this activity in the hostels as well. the cleanness that we maintain throughout the place right from the beginning. So I can tell you that IIT Kharagpur as such is going through a great, and we got, I think we were number 2 in the sustainability efforts that IIT Kharagpur is doing in the whole country among the IITs. This much I can tell you. When we were 23 in Asia, and I think 128 in the whole world as such.
Aligarh Muslim University. Aligarh Muslim University's Mohammad Rian was credited with having converted the campus into 100% solar, and then now today he heads the National Institute of Solar Energy as a DG. He has been appointed as the Director General of National Institute of. I mean, the country has to take, kind of lead from these great institutions. You guys have really laid, as trailblazers, led the way ahead, or have paved the way ahead for all the institutions across the country. We've got 1,000 and 1,100 universities. We've got almost 45, 50,000 colleges. We've got 15 lakh schools. I mean, the institutions have really led the way to this. And now, before I bring in Lieutenant General Consul Himalaya Singh, the man who comes with a breath of fresh air from Northeast, who's led the army, the army corps. He's been the commander of the Northern Command, etc., and he's been there with General V.K. Singh, people like him. He's been an advisor to the government of India for the resolving of the conflict at the Nagaland and the Manipur. He comes from Manipur, by the way, a state which was burning till recently. Now, before I bring him, and he is very privy to the fact that how the wetlands have become wastelands. And now tomorrow, what is the future like? Before I bring Lieutenant General Consul Himalaya Singh, let me quickly bring in SP Vasudev, an authority on the subject of sustainability. He knows about wildlife. He knows about flora, fauna. Today we're talking about vultures. We've had issues around elephants, human-wildlife conflicts. We've got Project Tiger, which was launched 50, 40 years back. He's seen the Wildlife Act come into place. He's seen the Wildlife Control Bureau come into place. He's seen a huge amount of fund, which is now being rolled out slowly at the state levels, for the wildlife protection. He's somebody who also has worked as the PCCF. Now we're talking about vultures. We're talking about cacrophagous animals. We're talking about pigs. We're talking about bats. We're talking about, this culture of, waste management or the carcass management. So he's seen it all. Vasudev ji, in brief, where does India stand in sustainability? Because after 50, 60 years, we have finally crossed the 100 mark barrier in the sustainability index as a country. Today we stand at 99 as per the Global Sustainability Compatibility Index released by the United Nations. India is at 99 today. We've got a long way to go. And then we talk about zero carbon emissions by 2070. We talk about sustainable industry. At the same time, our dependency on coal is not going away anywhere. Vasudev ji, over to you.
Amit ji, see, to now get focused, see, to achieve sustainability, the program of Agenda 21 was started. I was lucky to have prepared a cabinet. I was in the Ministry of Water Resources, have prepared a cabinet note for Union Cabinet in 1997 on water. It contained all the components to achieve sustainability. Then came Millennium Development Goals. At present, as you rightly said, we have reached 99. We are improving every year. We have reached 99 in achievement of Sustainable Development Goals. In 2015, UN, in which India was a major participant and contributed in arriving at these 17 Sustainable Development Goals that take into account, importantly, health and education sector as far as social sectors are concerned, that take into account environment, forest, water, land, air into account, and economic sustainability, how to improve GDP growth total growth, how to bring poor people above the average GDP level. These are all contained in the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which are being monitored by Niti Aayog at the Government of India level and Security Council at the UN level. Every 4 years, Security Council monitors these things, and in India, Niti Aayog every year classifies and the states, and UN classifies the countries. We are at 99 level. So to achieve sustainability, it will be better that every institute, every organization, government organization, private sector, they should shift to all their schemes should be integrated with what is contained in Sustainable Development Goals. And I think there are instructions to private sector, public sector, and government organization from Government of India, from the Prime Minister, to shift their focus in integrated their schemes and policies to Sustainable Development Goals. I think.
Vasudevji, just a second. Mr. Gilani, could you please, Mr. Jilani, Abdul Khadar Jilani, could you please introduce yourself and put your camera on, please? Abdul Khadar Jilani, could you please put your camera on and introduce yourself?
So, Amitji, by integrating these, building synergies between them and avoiding trade-offs, I think we will move forwards. And in the times to come, as I see that it is happening, monitoring at the Government of India level, Niti Aayog level, state level, and district levels, we are going to, I think, there will be a very, very broad leap when next classification or definition or ranking of countries come in the next assessment. And Amitji, I'd like to take leave. I have to go somewhere after this. Thank you.
Okay, Vasudevji, thank you so much. You know, there were many other issues we could have discussed, but Lieutenant General Qasim Himalaya Singh, the man who knows Northeast by the back of his hand, somebody who knows how the army functions in one of the most, sustainability friendly ways. You people are also responsible for building the roads in the LSE. You are responsible for ensuring and building roads along the borders of the country. You people are also responsible for planting trees. You people save us from wars. You people also take care of operations like Sindoor. But before we get into all those details, how have you seen, you've also worked in Jammu Kashmir for a long time in the Punch sector. I remember those haversack stories and those stories about the exchange with the Pakistanis that you've had and you shared with us. I wish General Apte was there, Brigadier Apte was with us, because he has much more interesting stories than you, and both of us know that. But before I get into that mode, Qasim bhai, Manipur is it better now?
Yeah, it's getting better. Thank you for your concern about Manipur. It's getting better. It's getting slowly creeping back to normalcy, but it'll take time.
And what impact has the Prime Minister's visit had on the country, on the state?
It was a very welcome visit of the Prime Minister very recently on the 13th. I am very sure that this visit will pave the way for various measures to be taken up to bring normalcy. So far, it has been over 2.5 years of very uncertain and not a very usual kind of very, very unstable state. And with the Prime Minister's visit having taken place, things we may not know in the public what steps are being taken, but I am very positive that something positive will come after the Prime Minister's visit. But during his visit, on balance, it was a positive initiative, but people were expecting a little more aggressive action to ensure that peace is brought to the people. So this much I can say as far as the Prime Minister's visit is concerned. Yeah.
Since you know Northeast so well, there are 8 states we are proud of. The Ashtalakshmi that we talk about, Assam has taken, huge long strides in terms of being the face of the Eastern Corridor, or as you say, Look East policy for India. But at the same time, states like Mizoram, where your former colleague, your former boss, our former great friend, or our great friend, General V.K. Singh, currently the governor of Mizoram, is posted. There are states like Mizoram which share a border with, India shares borders with Nepal, under Coop, Myanmar, China on the top, Bangladesh. It is the immigration, what do you call, illegal immigrant provider, if I may say so. We've got Sri Lanka, then we've got the, perennial friend with us on the Western Front, Pakistan. So India is not in a very, very enviable situation. Assam has taken long strides in terms of development, huge projects. It is almost like the capital of Northeast. What lacks? What is the reason? But at the same time, Assam shares a huge border with Bangladesh. It has been facing huge crisis from the Bangladeshis infiltrations. What makes Assam, call the shots when it comes to development in the Northeast compared to the other states?
This question is directed to me. Is the question directed at me?
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you only. Okay. Northeast,
Okay.
Nobody better than you.
Thank you. See, it's like this. You mentioned about the borders, and while 98% of the borders of northeastern India are neighboring, foreign countries, neighboring countries. Only 2% of the land border is actually joining India, with the northeast India. So that is the kind of importance of neighboring countries. But what has happened in the last few years, Myanmar in an utterly chaotic condition, and then followed by Bangladesh, and of course, very recently, Nepal. All this has put, and of course, the Chinese belligerents in the northern borders, so therefore, all this put northeastern region in a very, very peculiar condition where we have to understand that national security can be, can be threatened if we don't take care of this. As of now, I feel that people are taking care, but I think more needs to be done as far as the internal and external security of northeastern India is concerned. And many more issues you just mentioned about illegal migrations and drugs and illegal weapons, and dozens, at least 4 to 5 dozens of armed groups creating havoc with the people of the region. So all these are the negative sides. As far as your next point about Assam, being the most populous state, populous in terms of size, it is Arunachal, which is the biggest. But Assam has got is in the center of northeastern India, and it has also been in the center of development since the ages. States like Mizoram are catching up very well. In fact, I've just returned from Arunachal Pradesh day before yesterday. I was driving for nearly 10 hours, 10 days all over Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. I'm happy to say the progress that was made in Assam and Arunachal in particular is praiseworthy as compared to Manipur or Nagaland or, maybe even Meghalaya. So we have an issue here as far as the developmental lag is concerned. Developmental lag, in spite of from 2014, that 10% budget of every ministry going to northeastern India, I see that much more need to be done. Not so much in terms of funds, but in terms of governance. I think that is something that we need to focus on. And the third point, when we are at it, I would like to mention here is that I really appreciate Mr. Vasudev's talking about 17 items for developmental goals of the sustainable developmental goals. I would like to add one more. After seeing, and studying the Northeastern India, is the population demography and population kind of a developmental goals as in a sustainable manner. That needs a little more focus here for reasons which are known to many. We are not in from the security point of view, both internal and external, Northeastern India is not in a secure kind of a corner. It needs greater attention of the authorities and greater understanding. Without understanding the problem, people may not be able to suggest what are the means to actually prevent or solve problems, if any. So through the medium of your channel, I can say this, that it does require special attention. More importantly, is understanding of the issues here. That's all I have. You put a few questions, and I have, I think, tried to just cover in a few minutes whatever you asked me. Yeah, thank you.
This is a huge topic on Northeast, but before I again get into talking with you regarding various other aspects of Northeast, I remember you talking to me about those, wetlands and those, those small lagoons and water bodies, which are, changing landscape by the hour in the Northeast. And India, especially, is a country where water has become it's a ticking time bomb, as they tell me.
Absolutely.
And it is something.
Absolutely. In fact, I can.
Production. At the same time, we're talking examples of Brazil, but we forget Brazil never uses rice for ethanol. Brazil is dependent on sugar cane, not on rice. Rice is a huge water-heavy consuming agricultural product. 15,000 liters of water needed for 1 kilogram of rice 35 years back. Today it is the same ratio, 5,000 to 15,000. Whereas China, it is using 350 to 400 liters of water for a kilogram of rice. And here we talk about ethanol production. The prices of rice is jacking up, etc., etc. But then, Lieutenant General Rao, you skipped the part of the defense initiatives in the area of defense, because you know the defense sector so well. You handled artillery, you handled the ammunitions, you handled the procurement, you handled manpower also, as far as I remember. Now, General Rao, under Modi ji's leadership, there are companies like Hindustan Aeronautics, there are companies which have done very well, BDL, Aerodynamics, BML. We have so many companies which are working so well. Then we are now focusing on the nuclear aspect, the atomic aspect so much. We're focusing so much on the rare minerals. Whereas India, the rare mineral mining capacity of India has a lot of, questions to be answered. At the same time, we talk about mining. Everybody from all nooks and corners of the country into various fields is now talking about getting into the mining, rare mineral mining. You've seen it all. But to focus upon the defense aspects, what are the best initiatives under Modi ji for the defense sector that have been taken, and what is the way forward? Because if we are surrounded by countries like Nepal, Myanmar, Bangladesh, China, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, I mean, only East India Company can save us.
Yeah, firstly, I would like to talk one or two sentences on sustainability, because I've seen excellent ideas which are being put forth, which are really coming out. But I think the only point is, when Modi ji is a visionary, right? A large number of people who are involved as executives need to see that the sustainability targets reach to the culmination point. I think that is one issue possibly we need to drive more. After all, we cannot be complacent on great initiatives which have been taken in sustainability. That is as far as sustainability is concerned, because that is possibly one thing I feel that we need to focus a little more to ensure that the execution part of it in some of the projects need to be taken to the culmination. Now, coming to the defense, I dare say that Modi ji's initiatives have taken off exceedingly well. For that matter, today the defense forces are in such a state of preparedness that we've never been before. I mean, I've got commissioned in 1970, retired in 2010. After having seen 40 years, I've seen the 1971 Kargil War. Thereafter, we've been to Sri Lanka. We've seen the Kargil again in 1997. And I don't think the state of preparedness, we were ever in such a state of preparedness. The initiatives which have been taken, I think, is the Atmanirbharta. It is not just a saying. In its complete totality, I mean, the type of guns which have been, having been a Director General of Artillery, the number of guns which have been ordered for manufacture, whether it's Tata's, whether it is L&T, or whether it is Kalyani, I think these were unheard of. Yes, when I was in service, possibly we did hear one or two names, but the type of contracts which have been given, the encouragement which has been given, I mean, we have proved it to the world. Today, BrahMos, people are buying, people are purchasing BrahMos from us. Kalyani is producing certain guns which are being sold abroad. This is all credit has to go to our birthday man, Shri Modi ji. He is the man who pushed it. He's pushed it, and I think while his pushing of Atmanirbharta in defense sector is concerned, the type of openings is given. Yes, I should also be not forget Manohar Parrikar, who's also been associated with this. I think the team led in such a way. Now Rajnath Singh is taken off. The Modi ji has given such a takeoff level, and whether it is now the latest we are talking about is basically drone technology. And even drone technology is going in a very big way. Similarly, the right approach, the concept of improving the defense preparedness of a nation is whatever we can produce within ourselves, we must encourage. At the same time, I think it's taken huge steps and bold steps, even against a large amount of criticism from opposition parties, to go in for good purchases. We bought from France Rafales. We are buying from US. You are buying from Russia. You buying from. I think the typical saying of multipolar, we have used this multipolar word to our advantage as far as defense forces are concerned. So I think as far as a defense expert, I think we are certainly in an exceedingly excellent state right now. And yes, we have a long way to go. When compared to previous, we should never be complacent. We have a long way to go. And we have a huge amount of potential as far as research is concerned. A lot of white elephants have been reorganized. The ordnance factories, they have been literally refurbished. And certain PSUs which were going slow have been given the drive. Accountability has begun. So people are certainly where there was complacency, people who are not really producing the result, things are moving. DRDO is doing a great job. So I think the momentum which has been given by Modi ji in the defense preparedness and to the entire defense forces is phenomenal. Thank you.
General Rao, thank you so much for the second response. We will also be joined by just towards the closing end of the show with by Mr. Abhijit Rane, one of the tallest leaders in the state of Maharashtra. Abhijit ji, आपका कैमरा थोड़ा ऑन कर लीजिए. He is somebody who commands respect of lakhs of leaders as a trade union champion. राणे साहब, इस मोदी जी के 75वें जन्मदिन पर आपका स्वागत है.
मैं मोदी जी को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देना चाहूंगा.
आपका कैमरा ऑफ है. हाँ.
भी मैं मोदी जी के जन्मदिन पर माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी को जन्मदिन की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देना चाहूंगा। आई एम वेरी सॉरी मैंने आप सब लोगों को लेट ज्वाइन किया, बट आई एम वन ऑफ द पार्ट ऑफ दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इन दिस डिबेट व्हेनेवर वेरेवर आप सब लोगों को मेरी जरूरत पड़ेगी, हमेशा मैं आप लोगों के साथ में हूँ। आई हैड वर्कर्स कम्युनिटी, हाथ पर काम करने वाले लोगों की सेवा करता हूँ। आई एम इनटू ट्रेड यूनियन मूवमेंट। देश के लगभग 1800 से अधिक नेशनल, मल्टीनेशनल, गवर्नमेंट, सेमी गवर्नमेंट, ऑर्गेनाइज, अनऑर्गेनाइज वर्कर्स को सेवा देने का मुझे मौका दिया है। आई हैड अ पोजीशन, आई एम अ वाइस प्रेसिडेंट मुंबई फॉर भारतीय जनता पार्टी। सो मेरी जब भी जरूरत पड़ेगी तो पूरी तरीके से आपके इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ में हूँ। धन्यवाद।
अभिजीत जी, ये लेबर लेबर के साथ में अब आज की डेट में हम लोग देखते हैं कि जो ये एग्रीगेटर्स हैं, जो 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 गिग वर्कर्स हैं, ओला, उबेर, स्विगी, जोमेटो, ये सब जो लाखों लोग काम करते हैं, इनके ऊपर में आज की डेट में काफी तनाव है, काफी प्रेशर्स है। एट द सेम टाइम जो कंपनियां हैं वो इनको यूज करके आईपीओ निकाल रही है और पैसा कमा के फिर 6 महीने में शेयर नीचे चला जाता है और वो भी चली जाती है। अभी जो लॉज आ रहे हैं, लेबर लॉज मनसुख भाई ने बनाने की प्रयास कर रहे हैं, उसके विषय में मोदी जी को आपके क्या सुझाव है?
निश्चित तौर पर कानून में मॉडिफिकेशन होना चाहिए। उनको टारगेट ओरिएंटेड काम दिया जाता है और व्हेन दे आर नॉट एबल टू कंप्लीट देयर टारगेट्स, दे आर नॉट गेटिंग देयर बेनिफिट्स। सो वी आई एक्चुअली हैड almost 10 to 15,000 this type of workers, where I have precisely spoken to the Chief Minister of Maharashtra pertaining to, I basically मेरा जो प्रिंसिपल एरिया है वो महाराष्ट्र है, तो इस विषय पर हम लेबर मिनिस्टर, लेबर सेक्रेटरी और संबंधित जो डिसीजन मेकर्स है उनके साथ में हमारी रेगुलर इस विषय पर मीटिंग हो रही है। और जो टारगेट्स और ये जो वर्कर्स का एक्सप्लॉयटेशन हो रहा है, वी आर फाइटिंग फॉर, इफ एनी स्पेसिफिक सजेशन फ्रॉम यू ऑल पीपल, आई विल 100% टेक अप दिस इशू एंड आई कैन पास ऑन दिस टू द कंसर्न्स।
जैसे महाराष्ट्र सरकार ने, हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था कि रिसेंटली जो बहुत ओवरड्यू था, ये जो नॉन रजिस्टर्ड व्हीकल्स है, जो रैपिडो के तौर पर बाइक्स यूज होती है, जो नॉन कमर्शियल नंबर्स है, उनके ऊपर में काफी सारे रेस्ट्रिक्शंस लाए और वो रेट्स भी अब वो फाइनलाइज कर रहे हैं, फिक्स कर रहे हैं। तो ये सब पूरे बाकी
नहीं,
देश में, कर्नाटक ने भी किया वैसा ही काम। उस विषय में आपका क्या कहना है?
नहीं, हमने तो पूरी तरीके से एग्रीगेटर पॉलिसी, रैपिडो, ये इस तरीके के जो एग्रीगेटर स्कीम्स है, उस स्कीम्स को हमने प्राइमरीली अपोज ही किया था, क्योंकि उसको एक सिस्टमैटिक लॉ प्रोसेस में लाने के लिए उसको और थोड़ा सा रिफाइन करना बहुत जरूरी है। आज कमर्शियल व्हीकल्स, प्राइवेट व्हीकल्स को रैपिडो जैसे उसमें आज रिक्शा, टैक्सी और जो जो प्राइवेट डेडिकेटेड काम करने वाले इंडस्ट्री में जो लोग हैं, दे आर डायरेक्टली इनडायरेक्टली अफेक्टिंग दिस। और मुझे लगता है कि बहुत हरी करके गवर्नमेंट ने ये डिसीजन लिया है। अभी पॉलिसी तो इंट्रोड्यूस हुई है, नाउ दे हैव स्टार्ट, बट हमारा इस विषय पर बहुत स्ट्रांग अपोज है। और एंड वी आर ट्राइंग टू बिल्ड एरिया वेयर वी आर पुटिंग आवर सजेशंस, आवर ऑब्जेक्शन। एंड मुझे निश्चित तौर पर मुझे विश्वास है कि हमारे आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्र जी इस पर फेर विचार करेंगे।
क्या आप लोग केंद्र सरकार में काम करने वाले कर्मचारियों के साथ में भी डील करते हैं?
निश्चित तौर पर मेरे पास फूड कॉरपोरेशन ऑफ इंडिया, ऐसी बहुत सी गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज है, नेशनल पार्क्स में काम करने वाले कुछ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के एम्प्लॉयज है, इनकम टैक्स मेरे पास है, सर्विस टैक्स है, जीएसटी है, ऐसे विभाग में भी हम काम करने वाले वर्कर्स को। मगर जनरली वर्कर, ये जो वर्ड है, ये जनरली क्लास 4 प्रमोटी क्लास 3 होते हैं, उनके लिए हम हेड करते हैं।
और जहां तक कॉर्पोरेट जो जिसको हम ये तो ब्लू कॉलर तो समझ में आया, जहां तक अगर व्हाइट कॉलर की बात करें, व्हाइट कॉलर वर्कर्स या व्हाइट कॉलर एम्प्लॉइज कंपनियों में काम करने वाले?
कंपनियों में काम करने वाले वर्कर्स, जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव क्लास जो है वो, और बेसिकली जो एरिया है, एक एरिया काम देखो, हर एक का जॉब डिफाइंड है, वेयर देर इज अ सुपरवाइजरी टाइप ऑफ वर्क, वहां पर एम्प्लॉय एम्प्लॉयर का रिलेशनशिप जहां पर एस्टेब्लिश होता है, वहां पर वी जनरली एक्ट एंड वी सी दैट देयर इंटरेस्ट आर फुलफिल्ड, वॉट एवर if they are fighting with any such type of situation where there are issues pertaining to their salaries, their मॉरल स्टैंडिंग प्रोविजंस में जो उनके राइट्स है वो उनको नहीं मिल रहा है, सैलरी में उनको ग्रोथ नहीं मिल रही है, उनको बोनस ग्रेचुइटी, उनके लीगल ड्यूज उनको नहीं मिल रहा है, तो वी जनरली फाइट फॉर दिस टाइप ऑफ वर्क।
अब तो आप लोगों पे प्रेशर बहुत पड़ेगा, क्योंकि आप जो टैरिफ के कारण, ट्रम्प टैरिफ के कारण ये इंडस्ट्रीज पे इतना प्रभाव पड़ा है, और लाखों की संख्या में कंपनियों में जो एम्प्लॉयज हैं इनकी नौकरियां भी जा रही हैं। इसके पहले आईटी कंपनी वालों ने इतना हंगामा मचाया, और अब जो है टेक्सटाइल कंपनी है, डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स है, जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरी है। आपके महाराष्ट्र में जेम एंड ज्वेलरी इतना बड़ा
नहीं,
सेक्टर है, तो ये सब पे
हमने हमने केंद्र सरकार और राज्य सरकारों के जो डिसीजन मेकर्स है उनको हमने निवेदन दिया हुआ है, नेसेसरी क्या चेंजेस हम करके उसको अल्टर कर सके, इन द इंटरेस्ट एंड इन द बेनिफिट ऑफ वर्कर्स वी आर ट्राइंग टू फाइट फॉर देम। एंड आई एम वेरी मच श्योर दैट हमारे महाराष्ट्र के मुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्र जी एक दूरदृष्टि विचारधारा रखने वाले नेता है, और साथ ही साथ नरेंद्र मोदी जी, ये दोनों भी इस विषय पर एक गंभीर विचारधारा रखने वाले लोग हैं। निश्चित तौर पर वर्कर्स के बेनिफिट में कुछ बहुत जल्द कुछ अच्छा रिलीफ देने वाला निर्णय आएगा, ऐसा विश्वास है।
अच्छा, धन्यवाद अभिजीत भाई, आपने ज्वाइन किया, थैंक यू सो मच। आप भारतीय जनता पार्टी के, और मोदी जी को आने वाले 75 साल के बाद, अब आने वाले 10 जैसे, अगर ट्रम्प जैसे लोग 85 साल तक, उसके पहले बिडेन, ये लोग 85 साल तक अमेरिका के राष्ट्रपति बन सकते हैं, तो मोदी जी के अभी 2 टर्म और बाकी है, हमें लगता है।
नहीं, हम चाहेंगे कि मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में देश बढ़ रहा है, देश तरक्की कर रहा है, और मुझे विश्वास है कि मोदी जी अगले 20 साल नेतृत्व करेंगे। ये मेरा व्यक्तिगत मेरा मत है।
ठीक है, अभी कौनसम भाई फ्रॉम नॉर्थ ईस्ट के पहले जनरल हमारे साथ है, लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल कौनसम भाई। व्हाट आर द प्रॉब्लम्स यू पीपल फेस इन नॉर्थ ईस्ट फ्रॉम द लेबर पर्सपेक्टिव, ट्रेड यूनियन पर्सपेक्टिव?
It was breaking. Your voice was breaking. Can you say again?
Any issues from Northeast perspective, from trade union and labor perspective?
I think, except for some states like Assam and in other smaller states, I don't think the trade union is really active to the extent that we see in Mumbai or various industrialized states. So I think here in northeastern states, firstly, most of the workers in the industries are also from many are from outside the states. But let me tell you one thing is that a lot of people have the impression that northeastern region lacks skill. I think that idea has to go. That is the only message that I would like to give, that the northeastern people now are capable of working in technologically advanced companies and others. So we should look at it. That is number one point that I would like to emphasize, that the feeling of the skill level of northeastern states has gone up significantly in the last 20, 30 years. So that is something that needs to be given. Otherwise, by and large, there are no major issues about as far as the labor issues are concerned. But yes, I keep getting reports about people not getting their dues, from like say government schemes. That is something that the governance at various states should address. because that at the level of the villagers and various other, they are not getting what they are what they are entitled to as per their this needs to be taken into account. Otherwise, from the trade, from this point of labor point of view, I don't see a major problem in the region. Yeah.
Two important areas which I understand from what before we conclude now very soon. Two important areas. One is Northeast focus was missing. This is another good, kind of achievement of the government under Mr. Modi's 11 years of rule, wherein there's been a lot of focus in the Northeastern region, so much so that we have so many movies now being made in Northeastern India. Jishnu Barua comes to my mind. Recently, the Padma Bhushan winner had a brilliant series launched, an OTT series launched, because it was completely shot in Nagaland, Assam, Nagaland kind of regions. So Northeast now has got somebody who is looking towards Northeast. We've got institutions which are focusing on Northeast. Another way could be to bring more. We can also see what happened with Numaligarh refinery on the 14th, when they launched the first bamboo-based ethanol plant in the country. So it's all about the focus, the willingness, the initiative of the government. Tiwari ji, institutionally, academically, what are the areas which Northeast could look into? Mic is off.
Yeah, I had kept it. Sorry. Yes, I think from the sustainability point of view, as well as for harvesting what is there in the Northeast, particularly this bamboo. Some time back, there was a project which we have taken, and at IIT Kharagpur, we have developed a technology by which is a disruptive technology, and it can give 2G ethanol. And the technology has been developed, and we wanted that this technology can be given on a small basis as well as a small plant as well to various locations. Not only that we can have a very big one, but small locations as well, so that people can create 2G ethanol in a smaller area where the bamboo, etc. are there. And another thing what we have been doing, that in the area of Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat, we used to get all these students, some of the chosen students from the Northeast, and they were brought to the different institutes, and about 7 days or so they were given training on various aspects, and then in the areas of advanced technology, etc., how much they know and what are the new things which are coming up. This is the way I think the Northeast people are being taken together. And the very institute which has been coming up in the, which had already there in Nerist. I think I had been to Nerist, and I can tell you that this institute is doing very well. Some of my students are already there, and we are taking this. 50% of the students are from there, and next 50% comes from the other areas. The type of technology which is being taken up there, as well as the funding which is being given to these institutes, particularly like Nerist, I think they are right in the line to see that the growth of Nerist takes place. I have been going to the Nerist for several times, and therefore I feel that there is a change in the mentality. And about the students, as he said, yes, they are very brave. At the same time, they are privy to take up any challenge that is given. So if these students are taken up and then given special coaching and special training on the various skills, I'm sure they will come up with various products. Thank you very much. And I just wanted to say that I wish that Modi ji is like an avatar, as my personal feeling. Hello.
Before I end, Kansam Himalaya Singh, Kansam Bhai, your camera is off. Kansam Bhai will be closing. Now let me share with everyone, Kansam Himalaya Singh is also a chairman of one of the triple ITs. So we have an IIT champion. We have a man he's the chairman. Mr. Tiwari was the chairman of the joint entrance examinations. He's somebody who's been responsible for reducing the maximum number of attempts to 2 for an IT entrance. He's a pioneer. So now we have triple IT chairman also sitting with us. So, Kausam bhai, now don't tell me you are a technocrat. This is the last thing I want to know.
I was a NDA science graduate.
So, I mean, there are so many, but before we end the show, anyone for more Indo-Pak sporting and culture exchanges? Anyone? I guess no one. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you so much, everyone. Amulya Maika, we tried a lot. We could not get you to speak. Thank you so much. Best wishes.
Thank you.